16th, 2023 to order. It is 6:01 p.m. And our first item of business is old business.
So old business, I was not here for old business. And so if you have a record of the old business, I did not find any records of the old business. So I would just leave it up to you folks to discuss old business.
Does anybody have anything?
I guess it could fall under old business. Maybe it's a lack of communication, or it wasn't too long ago, Chief Olson was sworn in. I was extremely disappointed that not only was the board not invited, the department was not invited, nor even informed that any of this was going on. I would like to see some better communication in the future. I think all members of the board should be aware of what is going on at the board level. It's not a one-member board. That's all I have.
Along those lines, what did you swear to? When everybody else got the job, they just were offered the job. What was the whole swearing in? I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah, so legally, in order to be a fire chief, you should be sworn in by the governing body, and that would be the Board of Selectmen. And so that's why I came to that meeting and got sworn in. And it's pretty much standard everywhere else that we do that. And that gives me the ability to become your fire chief. Before, if it wasn't sworn in, then really you didn't have a fire chief then.
So you swear to?
You uphold in the bylaws of the town. You uphold the laws, the fire laws of the state of New Hampshire, and of all of the regulations and rules that you need to follow as a fire chief.
Interesting. Okay, I guess along those same lines, then there was also a meeting at the fire department to introduce the chief that I thought was called by C2. And when I asked him if he had the agenda, he told me it was not called by him, but that it was called by the members here of the Board of Firewards, and I was unaware of that either. I was unable to go to the meeting. I had another commitment, but I don't know that anybody else knew about the meeting.
I'll speak to that.
Okay.
So when we had our last board meeting, when we made the decision to hire Chief Olson as our interim chief, I had brought up that I thought that we should notify the fire department first and foremost, and so made that arrangements with Chief Olson and Chief Richards, and I asked Chief Richards to put that out before, I believe it was before the weekend, that the meeting was that following Wednesday. And I asked him to announce that to the department to let everybody know. And that Leah was the only one, so Killian knew about it, I knew about it, you were all members of the department, so you should have got notified. I thought that
We just got notified of a department meeting, but there was
okay.
no indication of what it was about.
Well, I told him it was to introduce the interim chief to the department. And so I sent you an email because I knew you weren't a member of the department, so you wouldn't get a notification through those channels. And as far as the selectmen's meeting goes, I set that up again because I was told that he would have to be sworn in and for that Monday night. And I didn't put it out to anybody. I figured that it would be pretty common knowledge, my mistake. So going forward, I'll talk about that in a little bit, how we take care of those issues.
Okay.
Anything else? Anybody got anything else? This is sort of old business. Earlier in the year, or even last fall, it could have been, I'm not sure the exact meeting, we voted as a board to waive the requirement for CDL with the state of New Hampshire and go with our own driver training program. And I voted for the program with the assurance that we were gonna see at least as stringent, if not exceed, the state driver training program to certify new drivers. And so I requested you to provide an update on where that training program stood for us.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I guess that would be old business, and sorry about that. But yes, I looked at all the information that Lieutenant had, and he's been doing. He established a nice program for a driver training program, and it really echoes the CDL. He's using the guidebooks and the guidelines for New Hampshire CDLs. And he has many exams that I saw. He has copies of many exams of the CDL license to partake when they finish their job. But they do a lot of different maneuvers. They set up cones. They do serpentine parking. They do side parking, dimensional parking, conventional parking, offset braking, dimensions. And they go over some of the air suspension diagrams of the trucks. And they go over the air brakes of the vehicles, of the apparatus, as well as looking at the CDL booklet that New Hampshire provides. I really think that it's a really good program. The board member, our lieutenant, we have no conversation about this, but I wanted to look upon it to say thank you. It's a great job, and you're doing super. I talked to one of the drivers today, the candidate, which is a birthday boy, Brent, and he's firefighter Brent. He's doing really well. So he's moving right along, and he knows what he needs to do and what he needs to fill out. So that's great. And I'm looking forward to receiving a packet from Lieutenant when he's finished with them, saying that he is completed with his task of driver training. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good, thank you for doing that.
Actually, the pre-trip that I've been putting them through is much more stringent than the state.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, that's good.
Because more than anything, we need drivers who can recognize, you don't have to be a car guy or a truck guy, but you should be able to see that doesn't look right. So I've been using actually the old CDL pre-trip,
Saw that.
which was much, much deeper than the new one.
Yeah.
As far as the driving, the skills, that's all right from the Department of Safety website. I set it up exactly the same as the state troopers did, and we use the same standards there.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Anything else? All right, we'll move on to new business.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'd like to thank the previous chiefs, especially Chief Roberts, Richards, and Facina, Chief Facina, for getting us to this point. It's much appreciated, and it's always nice to recognize, the previous chiefs, and I just want to, my hat's off to those two, and thank them very much for allowing me to come into the firehouse here. So, all right, so we're going to start out with personnel, and that's kind of one of the top two personnels there. So first of all, I always like to start out with personnel because that's the most important part of the fire department, I believe, is our personnel. We can't do anything without them. They really run the show, really. The officers do, and I kind of hopefully steer the ship, if you will. But I just want to reach out and to say thank you so much for that outstanding job that they did on a 14-acre brush that we just had. We just finished, humping the hose out of there. There was quite a bit of hose. It was quite a lot of work, and all the surrounding towns that came to us, and I have the report on my desk. There's just so many towns that came. And all our personnel that came to the fire, as your chief, I want to thank them very much, and with my heartfelt thanks. Also, I'd like to acknowledge especially Lieutenant Meady and Amanda, Charest, thank you, Charest, and Noah, and a few others that came back and helped out to hump out that hose. That's quite a bit of task that we had there, and they did a great job, and that goes kudos to them. I did not ask them to participate in that, and they just took it upon themselves to do that. So that kind of, sets a good gauge to who you have for a fire department, and that's great. So the items that we have written there, I just didn't write that because I just wanted to do that first. So we'll go now to the agenda. Firefighter Rebecca Shatney and Cody LeMay and Ian McLaughlin, they all passed the CPAT today. So pretty excited about that. So two of them are full-time, one is call, and they are, we're going to talk to Beth and talk to you folks to get them out of Group 1 and to get them to Group 2. So we're going to be discussing that with the treasurer in the next few days. Welcome.
Sorry about that.
Good to see you.
Work was
It's all right. It's good to have you here. Thank you. So they did a great job. And Ian, firefighter Ian McLaughlin, he's going to be taken this week, I think it is going to be taken as firefighter 1. So he could be CPAT as well as firefighter 1 certified. And that's fantastic for us. So that's pretty good. I did ask if there were other chiefs out there at the CPAT test, and they were. There were like 5 or 6 chiefs with applications. So that's unfortunate for us. Hopefully we don't lose Ian to a surrounding town that's hiring full-time. So it's really excited. It was an exciting day today. They just took it this morning, and they gave it to me, and I was so proud of those guys and ladies that did that. So kudos to all of them. And just to let you know, firefighter Amanda came up to me. Sherez asked if she could go to the paramedic class, and if I would support that, or if we would support that. Certainly, I said absolutely. I would love to have all medics. Every single one of us I would love to be to have all medics, but I understand there's a cost in that. But if we could support her, I think that's fantastic. That would bring us to another level, and hopefully, our goal should be at least 1 or 2 medics on a shift, which would be just wonderful. I know we only have 2 on a shift right now, but thinking in the future, it would be really nice to continue that. And maybe somewhere down the road, we could maybe have a minimum, I don't know, of medics. Depends on how we want to work that. But I propose that we actually push her forward, and that's in October when she starts. And backing on that was Rebecca Shatney, firefighter Rebecca Shatney. She's going to be finished in October, at least with her schooling part of it all. She's got to do another 6 or 7 months of time, I think, after that. So I was hoping that, and it looks like it actually is going to work out well, where we can start her in the program, and one's finishing, the other one starts in the didactic of the class, which is very intense. It's a very intense class. So, it's fantastic, and I'm pretty excited about that. The other part that unfortunately I missed to tell you is Captain Hood and Firefighter Sherez, again, assisted in the road race, and that was fantastic. I wanted to do a reach out and say thank you so much. They brought the ambulance down and assisted in the road race to the school system, and I thought that was wonderful to do that. And I did have a note down here for Lieutenant Meady and Firefighter Brent to finish his driver training program. And as you heard, it's an outstanding program. I have no doubt about that. And we can go right into monthly reports. I do have another, I don't know if we want to go into non-session with another.
We'll do that at the end.
Okay.
On the agenda, we put on, the problem that we have is that once we turn off the recording, we can't turn it back on.
Yep, that's perfectly
So we'll
fine.
generally go into non-public at
Yep.
the end, and then we'll go right to adjournment.
That sounds great. So, just a look, this is the certificate that they received, and I have copies of that for you guys in there, in your packets. So after those certificates, you'll see where it says Fire Rescue Department Monthly Activity Report. This is kind of a breakdown of calls that we have, from rescue calls all the way to other fires, burning without a permit, inspection activities. So you'll see it break down in different, I don't know if you've ever seen that before like that, but This basically gives you a breakdown of how many rescue calls we had last month. This is for April. And so we had 31 rescue calls. We had 2 structure fires. We had 6 brush fires, 2 motor vehicle crashes, 1 chimney fire, 1 hazard condition. You know, a hazard condition could be a spill, could be wires down too as well. And then a hazmat incident. Automatic fire alarm, we had 1. And that ended up to be 46 emergency calls that we had of the month of, unless I'm missing some that were not put in the computer. That's where we're at right now. So inspection activity, we just started the inspections since I've gotten here. Occupancy permits, we did 1. Fire drills in the school system, we did 1. The FEMA flood permit is the first one I've ever done. That's for the emergency management process. So it's a FEMA application that I will show you folks, and I just need to sign it because I went out and did the inspection. So it's a pretty interesting process that FEMA comes in and they ask for it. It's to really give them graces on their insurance. Usually flood insurance is like $4,800 or more on top of your regular insurance. So that brings that to about 5 activities, and you'll see a lot more activities. I brought the crew in a couple of the activities, the inspection activities, and I think that's important. Everybody should partake in inspections. Okay, so moving on again into personnel. So my first memo to the department after the meeting that we had on Wednesday, this was the second day of my career here in Weare. I wrote a little memorandum for the group and kind of just taking back what we're looking at, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. Just a few things, not really detailed yet. That's in that strategic plan that I'll offer the town at the end of my time. I think I have about 10 or 15 pages already done from that. So there's quite a bit. You're going to have quite a bit of stuff in that plan. But basically went over different things, like we're going to work on our SOPs, SOGs. We're going to have a spot where they are. We're going to work on memorandums. We're going to have a spot in the fire station where they're supposed to be. We're going to look at our training needs. I really wanted feedback from our people because they know better than I what they need. And I certainly want to offer as much as we can in-house if we can. And if not, we can hopefully get the academy to the station and bring them forward. But it's important. So it's just a memorandum saying, hello, this is what we're doing and moving forward. The next things you'll see is just SOPs, and I kind of wanted you not to approve them tonight, because this is not what I would like to see for you folks. All right, I just wanted to show it to you. So you have a substitution policy, you have roles and responsibilities, you have apparatus check, you have a fire performance appraisal, which is their evaluation, you have a standard fire attack, and I think that is it. Yes. So I wanted to show you that, just to show you that there is no uniform here. We have the kind of like the letterhead and everything else is all over the place. So they're from different chiefs, so it's done differently. So what I propose to our group and what I'm going to propose to our officers is that we establish one way of doing business. And let's get together, let's communicate all this together, and let's have the officers come up with 5 or 6 every single month, and then have you folks look at them and then approve them at the next meeting. And so you can digest them, so you can discern what's happening, what's going on, and if there's any questions that you have of me or of the department, then we could answer those questions for you. So that's kind of, I just wanted to show you what we have some of these. Now, personally, I have about 2,000 of them that I can share with the department. Obviously, they don't need all that, but I've acquired them throughout my career. But I really want to get Weare Fire Department members on board with what they would like to see and how they like to see their fire department move forward, because it's important. I need buy-in from our people, If I don't get that, then it's just not going to work. So, and I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can get that from we have some great people, so. The other thing is I don't know if I gave you for the engines. This is a list of all our engines that we have. I provided you with this because that's something that we're going to need to talk about. Engine 1 looks like it's needs a pump. Yeah, it's not certified to pump right now. It's incompliant right now, so it needs some work. So we got to look at some of our apparatus as we go forward. That's a 1987. We know we have to look at that, and we believe that the ladders and they may or may not have. I don't have the records yet. I'm still searching for if they've been tested or not. So I'm not sure. So if I do get the records and they're tested, then I'll come back and tell you folks. But I do know that the pump is not operational, or at least it didn't pass their pump test. So, and I showed you that because this is what we have for our fleet.
Can we pass the manifesto?
So So going back to the first page is, for apparatus, because we talked about memorandums and SOPs, SOGs. This is apparatus. Engine 2, we replaced an oil water filter. Thank you to Jason. Did an awesome job. Thank you. That was great. He came in today and took care of that, no problem. And that is very much appreciated. So that's back in service. Ambulance 2, the 2 new tires were ordered, and we're going to get that ambulance. We didn't get a chance to get it to him today, so he said to bring it in the first thing in the morning. So we're going to take care of that tomorrow. And then Monday will be the alignment done in Henniker, so we can get that squared away as well. So that truck will be ready to roll. Like I said, engine 1 in the East Weare station needs to be in service, and it's not. We'll figure. I mean, it is, but I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be, but that's just me because I'm just ultra nervous when when the pump doesn't pass. Yes. So okay. So still waiting for the utility body to install in utility 1. We're still waiting for a new ambulance that we ordered. We're waiting for the dealership to get back to us, and all the other apparatuses other than engine 1 are pretty much in service and ready to roll. Okay, so here comes the firehouse. So what I did here was I looked at a lot of different things when I first came in, and these are just on the surface things. I haven't even started getting into a lot of things yet, but this is just the surface, and I got to tell you, we need some work. So the fire station, the bunk rooms, they're not in compliant. There's no second egress to the bunk rooms. That's not good for us. As well as there's no natural light in the bunk rooms, and I believe that's a health code violation. I have to talk to Katie about that. But I believe that is. Other places I've been to that, I know that's for sure. So we need to work on a plan for that, and we have somewhat of a plan, but I don't want to bring it up yet because I'm not sure. I haven't talked to the officers yet. I want to ask their guidance on that first. Self-contained breathing apparatus, they're all out of compliance. That means anybody that goes in a burning building right now and they get hurt, we're going to own them. That's not good. That's not the way we're supposed to run business, and that's just not right. So they're out of compliance. You can't get any parts for the tanks anymore. You can't. It's just they're all out of compliance. They won't even work on them. So that's a major problem. That's immediate in my eyes. Unfortunately, we missed the deadline. That was last month, I believe, Cap, right? Last month was the deadline for asking for a grant. So before I leave, we will have a grant in place, hopefully, and we'll send it forward in October, and hopefully we'll get it. And I hope we will, but I don't know what we're going to do at this point in time. We're going to put our heads together as officers and figure out which direction we need to go and how much it will cost. It's quite the extensive cost. I mean, you're talking in about $200,000 that you're going to need to replace, and we need 20 of them, and that's 20 of the cylinders, 20 of the packs, And that's in compliance with NFPA. I mean, do we need all 20? No. Would like to. I'd love to be in compliance with NFPA, and I know that's a national standard, and it's a guideline. But I
How
know
long have they been out?
they've been out quite a while. I mean, before me. Before me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please. Through the chair, please, through the chair.
The packs have been pretty much out of compliance as soon as we almost bought them from where we bought them from.
Nice.
And we were under, Chief Vizina was, I think, under the gun because the other packs were failing. And this was like kind of a temporary Band-Aid. We bought them, our Chief Vizina bought them from like a resupplier. But what happens is they actually build the pack, they build the SCBA out of a bunch of parts. And
Can't get
that
them.
we have Scots, and like the Scott dealer
Yeah.
will not come anywhere near touching them or anything because
They're not true.
there's parts that are 10 years old on those packs, and there's parts that are 2 years old on the pack. When the packs, when there's a problem with them, the lieutenant will send them out, and they get sent back to the manufacturer, and they fix them and send them back. I'm not sure if we're getting charged for that. I think it's the shipping that we pay for, but I don't think we pay to have them fixed. But the bottom line is I had Scott come in and do up a quote. I had MSA come in and do up a quote. And both those guys looked at them, very knowledgeable. Actually, I believe one of them lives in town, actually. And they said that the packs are nowhere near compliant. And again, as the chief spoke to, it's all good till it's not. You know, every time we wear them, we're rolling the dice that, God forbid, something ever happened.
Do we
The
have,
packs aren't compliant.
we don't have any money really in the budget, right?
No, not that, not
What did we
200,000.
cut out of the budget?
Capital.
Didn't we cut out like 90 grand? Or something like that? Recall.
Well, most of it, we came in at default, but so there wasn't a lot of increases except for the defaultable amounts. But,
Kinda shot ourselves in
yeah.
the foot on that one,
wasn't
I would say.
Well, it wasn't equipment.
So, you know,
Money I could've used.
we understand that it's huge, and we're gonna try to put our heads together on May 23rd. We have an officers meeting, and I noted it down in the thing. We're gonna look at a lot of different avenues, and hopefully I'll have some answers for you on next meeting. I just found this out not like this week, so,
Okay.
yeah, so this was a shock to me, so I've never had this happen, so we'll move forward with what we need to do, and we're gonna do this right, obviously, and we're gonna come up with hopefully 3 or 4 different ideas what we can do, and correct this issue, you know? And that's that. Okay, moving forward, couple other things, like to look at a cistern for our station, 10,000 gallon cistern at some point with electrical pump, on a cement pad. That's just really to fill our trucks maybe in a more appropriate manner, faster manner, instead of from a garden hose. That takes how long? Yeah, takes a long time. So that's something that we would like to entertain the board to kind of think about it in the back of your mind. These things that I'm bringing up to you folks, this is what I'm just seeing on the surface. I don't even know what I'm gonna, when I start digging in, I don't know what I'm gonna find. These are things right away that I'm looking at. But know that I'm giving you problems right now, but I'm gonna come up with some solutions. So, you know, just hang in there.
Air pack one's
We just,
probably one of the
yes,
biggest ones,
yes.
I would say.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. That's someone's life inside that building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's for sure. And, you know, so the compressor's another, you know, that fills the Scott packs, the self-contained breathing apparatus bottles. We have it in South Station. We have one. That is not going to be able to be fixed, right? Because it's Poseidon, I think, is that makes that one, and they don't make them anymore.
Correct.
Okay.
It's still, I think we still have a service contract with them,
Okay.
and it still works fine, but most of the newer systems are 5,500.
Right.
Our compressors are 4,500s.
Right, right, exactly. So, I mean, at some point, we can certainly look for a grant on that as well in October, maybe hopefully a little earlier. And I propose we look for that grant and do that, and then have it ready so we can submit it. And that would be to get it in the central station, so that we have a safe way to fill these bottles. Right now, they're in plastic, which is not good. Yeah, fill these, they get hot. Yeah, it's like a pipe bomb, They just, it's not the way to do it. It's not the way to do it. So we're gonna look at trying to get that process a little bit safer than what we're doing.
Excuse me.
Yep,
Sorry, before we go away from compressors, I just want to understand. So we have one compressor right now?
that's
And
correct.
that's at the
That-
south station?
That's correct, yeah. And that compressor is, the company's out of business.
No, I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that, if
Yep.
we had two, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
can we?
yeah, can we bring it over, right, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like that one has other issues, but some departments that have gone from the lower compressors up to the 6,000s, one alternative is a booster pump.
We have a booster.
Yeah,
Oh, we do.
Currently, there's the 4,500 PSI compressor with a 6,000 PSI booster.
Okay.
yeah,
The booster we use to fill the Cascade on our rescue truck.
yeah. So we do have a Cascade system, which is good,
Yeah.
and that's good for us.
Well, it sounds like it may be, if the compressor's not worth keeping for the long run, I mean, if we're not gonna be able to get parts or whatever for
Correct.
it, then that
Correct.
needs to be looked at differently. But I
Right.
know a lot of departments, when they went to the 45, so you need a 6,000 pound.
Right,
From 2,200, a lot of them were, that was an inexpensive alternative, that you bring the Cascade up and then you boost it up into the bottles.
That's another problem added into it,
Yeah.
is our Cascade is 6,000, but if we're filling bottles at 55,
Yeah.
we're not gonna fill many.
no, you don't have that many, and then you have to wait and fill. So, it's just not
Yep.
the greatest way of doing business, but, but it is, God bless you.
Bless you.
So, in order to get a new compressor, you also think you really need to look at your building in the phases you have coming into from the street. So that needs to be a three-phase. We don't have that right now in Central. So, because that's where I would propose to put a new compressor is Central Station. So, I mean, that's something that we had to think about and look into in the future, Just food for thought right now, okay? I know there's a lot there. But you do have quotes. The captain gave this to me. Thank you so much for your hard work. And these are the quotes for the compressors, also quotes from two different companies for the self-contained breathing apparatus, MSA and Scott's. Okay, so that's something to look at. All right, and I think that will do the fire station. And again, these are just the surface things that we're noticing right off the bat. So budget. If you look at your budget, I furnished you a copy with the budget. And this is 41.66% of the budget time allotted. And I have highlighted, I don't know if the highlights came out, did, okay. I've highlighted a couple of them that I'm concerned with, because we're roughly around, if we're in the 58 percentile, then we're close to, right on the budget, I don't like to be right on the budget, I like to be better than right on the budget. So there is a couple of line items like fire wages and overtime that we had to look at. That's 57.98%. That's still okay, but it's right on the edge. The special detail rate, we're looking at 44.995%. So we're looking like we've already wiped that out. That's a minus, plus 44%, 45. And then telephone. I can't imagine $6,000 for telephones. I got to look into this because this is amazing.
Telephone bill?
This is amazing. I can't. I just looked at that and I went, my God, $6,000. So that's something that we're going to look at and how many phone lines we have, and maybe we can figure out something there. The fire dues is at 49.78%, And then the last one I circled was the 39.96% was the fire supplies. So everything else seems to be on par or better than, and that means we're doing better than that, and I'm pretty happy about that. It seems like a strong budget right now, but we're only not even halfway there yet, so I'll get a better look at it in a couple of months and see where we're at then.
I gotta add 200,000 to the top of it too.
Yes, I'm hoping that we'll be able to find something. The other paperwork that you have in front of you is the fire department, what we spent on fuel usage. And it was 810, I think last month was a lot higher than that, but that's from engine 1 to 5, rescue, tanker, ambulance, 2 ambulances, forestry truck, utility, and the SUV. So that takes, so 810, 24. I wanted you to know that. And the last things that we have is activities. Again, the road race, I think that was a great thing for the town. You know, I want to shout out to the captain, Captain Hoyt, and firefighter AMT, saying that right?
Amanda Shiraz.
Yeah, Amanda Shiraz. Sorry, Amanda. And I think they do a wonderful job for what, and they represented us really good at that race, and a lot of people saw us there, and that is really good for us. Fitness program, like to establish a fitness program at our station. I don't believe it will cost us anything up front, but I'd like to get permission to move forward on a fitness program, like just to really organize it. I'm a peer fitness person, so it'd be nice to get our firefighters working out. A lot of them do work out. They have a nice workout room. And I'd just like to put something down on paper and bring it to you folks next month.
So you're gonna stop bringing in donuts?
Disregard what Lieutenant said. Yes, sir, I will, yes. And the adventure post, I said I'd love to start the adventure post here. I've talked to one scout master, and they're very excited to hear about this. So, again, I'm bringing that to officers meeting. You guys are first that I wanted to let you know. But I'd like to really start a post. I think they're fantastic. It's a great feeder program for us. And I just think that it's just a great, moms and dads see it. They come into a station. They see it. We may end up getting moms and dads to come in for our fire department. And maybe we can get some more call firefighters in our fire department. And that would be just wonderful. Speaking of which, I actually did a new roster for our department. So we have 8 full-time, 9 call, 1 part-time, and 1 chief. So basically, I looked at it today, and we had a lot of people that no one knew who they were on it. So we narrowed it down to who actually is coming out of those. The call members, you know, maybe 3 or 4 of them that we see quite often. We'd like to see more, obviously, come back. Training in EMS and fire, we're going to have training on 12 lead on June 1st. So that's going to be really interesting, 18-30 hours. And like I said, our officers meeting is going to be prior to that, May 23rd, on my anniversary. So these guys are going to take me out on my anniversary. So that would be wonderful. For 18-30 hours, we're going to do that. And we have a lot to talk about. I'm actually going to bring in some food, not donuts. But I'm going to bring in homemade lasagna. You're more than welcome to come along. But yes, it is. I'm going to bring that because there is a lot to talk about. So we want to get everybody on board and get us moving in the right direction.
Well, if it's an
And-
officers meeting, I don't think we should be at it, right, as board members? It should just be the
It
officers.
is just
right?
the offices usually, but I always offer, you know. It's
Make sure
all
that-
of our house, right? It's all of our
Yep.
house. Yep. So that's my report.
Okay, is there any questions for the chief on his report?
That wasn't too bad, was it? Too long, no?
I'm kind of just concerned about the air packs. I mean, I came in late, so I didn't hear the beginning part of it. But the air pack thing is kind of concerning, I would say.
It's daunting.
And I think as a board, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot on that one, I feel.
Sometimes you don't
With
know, though,
the-
you know, sometimes you don't know that these things happen like this, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we should have some sort of emergency, like, you know,
Emergency fund.
something like this, so where we could at least pull some sort of money out to maybe not
Yeah,
hurt the blow
yeah.
as bad.
Well, maybe bringing down the phone bill will help. I'm glad that you,
About $6,000.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I brought it up months ago.
Oh, did you?
and-
Okay.
Yeah, and
I
we were all
just,
kind of like, yeah, that is high. and-
I gotta look at that and say, what is, I mean, we looked at it, Beth and I both looked at it, and again, shout out to Beth, she's done wonderful, she's just great at being a treasurer, and she really has helped me a lot with this budget, which is really nice. But, we both looked at that, because we said, wow, that's a lot, and it's just regular 300 and some odd dollars a line, basically, it's like, wow, and we got quite a bit of lines, so maybe we can, you know, figure out what we can do with that, so I'll definitely look into it and have a better answer for you.
Does that, now that includes a lot of the wireless internet connections, right?
No, that's separate.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Some of it is in the bill, so,
Where does the internet come from then?
there is a line item in the internet, budget, but there is, some of the lines that they have is our internet connection, so you're right, some of it does come from that as well.
Because,
Yeah, you're right.
because it says here, under 342 fire internet connection.
Yes,
1305, and we still have 100% of the budget, so is that like a once-a-year thing? or-
yes. What number is that, sir?
It's down
Right next
just
to fire
under the
telephone.
telephone.
Yep. Yep, got it. Yes, so I think that's the internet connections, I think that was placed in there for, and Beth knows better than I, because I didn't write this budget, but I think that was to do with the connections of it when they first came in and stuff. So I believe that each line has the ability to have internet connections, and I think that's what we're paying a high price for.
So, okay, so I know that you have internet with your phone, but it's, I guess I don't know the answer to this, because I knew there was something about internet connections, but we have to have internet connection in the trucks, correct?
Correct.
That's cell phone.
And that's separate.
That's cell, yeah.
so that's
Those are your
part of-
hotspots.
We don't have internet on the trucks. The trucks are not.
It's a hotspot,
internet.
right,
It's all done,
Okay.
we just have cell phones.
Okay, so, all right,
which we use our hotspots for, right?
okay.
And those are really, if you want to get, you know, technical, those are like $10-15 a month for those. They're not, it's just like an extra little line that you can use. Yep.
Here's a phone bill.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would be good to know the answer to that, where the money goes.
I will, we have it broken down.
Okay.
I just didn't bring it with you because I wasn't really prepared to talk about that yet, because I really wanted to, I actually wanted to go and call them and talk to them first.
Okay, sure.
See if I could come up with some better answers.
Okay.
And maybe work something out so we can drop that down, and then come to you folks and say, look, this is what we have. These are the options.
So your internet's $90 a month.
Yeah.
Out of the $150 phone bill.
Right.
Nope,
All right,
take
is
it
there-
back, more than that.
all right, so we'll work on that. Is there any other questions for the chief on that?
I did not receive an agenda for tonight's meeting. Did anybody else?
Nope.
I know it's here on the,
It was posted, I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I
Posted 3 spots, yeah.
I saw that I didn't receive it. I was away till Monday, but, so I checked and I had not received it. And, but it did get posted out.
Okay.
The person that sent it out thought that it had gone out.
And there was a second attempt too, sir.
We can, well, as soon as we get done with this, we can talk about that. Okay. If I forget, let me know.
okay.
All right, is there anything else on this presentation that the chief made? Okay, is there any other new business?
11 lines.
Any other new business?
I wasn't here for the first part, so I don't know what.
Yeah. Which part did you missed about personnel and apparatus?
I think it was here for the app.
Okay, so you weren't that far off.
Just kind of how are things going with assisting Mark and everything like that? How's
Yeah,
that?
I think it's going great. I really do. And that's kind of why I wanted to go into non-comment, because we're gonna
Oh, okay.
talk
I
about a few
didn't know.
things that I'd like to bring to the table.
Cool.
But, you know, I just think it's just been wonderful. We've been sitting down we've scheduled some time. He comes into the office quite a bit, and we go over we're going over the budget, we're going over all this whole packet. You know, so we're just breaking things down and just sharpening our pencils and working together, and it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure working with Mark and the captain, excuse me. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Cool.
And I think we're in a really good direction.
Awesome. Yep. Perfect.
All right.
And if there's any board members that would like to reach out to me, email, whatever, please do so. If you need anything, I do have, I don't know if you have my email. Do you have my email? It's just C. Olson, you can pass it around. C. Olson at wearefirerescue.com. And, you know,
It takes
please.
6 years to get these.
My wife did those. Being a graphic artist that she is, thank you.
Feeling like Wawa.
So reach out to me at any time for anything. If you want to see something different on here, I'm going to kind of go and use this as a template as I go through these meetings. But if there's obviously anything that's pressing or anything that you feel that is not right or anything that you would like to see, let me know. It's as easy as that, and I'll furnish you all the information I possibly can. Just want to say you guys have a great fire department, you really do. These people are amazing. From what I've seen so far, I've only been here almost 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and they're wonderful.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm keeping up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Carol did a good job.
All right, we'll move on to approval of minutes, and I think
Thank
I'll
you.
use this opportunity to talk about agendas, minutes, et cetera.
Okay.
So, I know that we had an issue with the system going out when we had the power outage. There was a meeting, I think it was a special meeting that we had a while back, and I know that you weren't notified, and I didn't receive it on my email. And I think that some of that may have been because we had a storm when it went out, and a lot of people were out of power. And I don't know why, how the system works or anything, but I apologize for, at the last minute, I realized that I hadn't got it. And so that's when I tried making calls to see if anybody else got it, especially where it was a special meeting. So what we do is we've posted, like we used to post, we still do, but we posted, our regular meeting is posted in numerous places. And it says, it used to do the first month or the second Monday of the month. Now it says the third Tuesday. And so those are up there. So the only thing that we have to put out is special meetings. So I learned that the town has on their website, you can go on there and subscribe. And so I am not going to send out the agendas anymore, or minutes, or notices of meetings. But if you subscribe, you can pick the departments and you can pick what you want to subscribe to. So if you understand that, okay, you gotta look on your
Yeah,
face.
well, I believe that I am subscribed to the fire department, because I think I've gotten them before, but I
Okay.
didn't get them this time.
I don't
So
know.
I'll double
yeah,
check,
I
but-
didn't get it in my email either, I'm not sure, but, anyways, because when I got back, I checked all the
Something
way
I'll have
back to like Thursday to see if it had come, and I didn't see it.
I believe,
So we were gonna try and resend it.
excuse me, sir, I believe Beth sent it again, because she said, and please reach out to me if you received it. And I said, I received it, thank you.
Okay.
So she said there's some people that said that they didn't receive it. And the first time I went, well, I received
Yeah,
it,
I
both,
didn't-
so.
I didn't get up to about, I think I checked it about 3:00
Was it
this
just sent to
afternoon.
you via email?
Yes.
Usually
Yeah,
is.
because we just went through migration here, which is snagged most everybody in spam.
Okay,
We
that's,
changed our email addresses here.
that's what,
We've
okay.
gone
Oh, okay.
to it, So now almost everything that comes back to the building has to go in this proof point account that you have to go down through every morning and release them.
Got it.
So I don't know if that's going out the same way, I honestly don't know. We went to, instead of weare.nh.gov, we're wearenh.gov now.
Okay.
So that's been a snag for a couple of weeks, because every morning you have to, I don't get any emails till morning, and I get the proof point report, you gotta go down and release.
Okay.
It's just some security thing that,
Hmm.
so I don't
Okay.
know if it's getting hung up going out, because I do know I belong to the listserv, and I couldn't reply to the listserv because of my new email address. So I'm not sure if that's snagging either. I had to be invited to join again. I don't
Okay.
understand it, I just want it to work.
So
Yeah.
can we work with IT on that to make sure that we
Yeah,
get
and
our
just check your
stuff?
spam or your junk, because that's where I find most of mine.
I understand that, but I'm
One-
looking for something that people
But if you
can
resubscribe,
pop up and
nothing
say,
has
oh yeah,
changed.
remind me
I
of the
mean, I
meeting.
resubscribe to everything on there, and whether Beth posts it, Monique posts it, Maureen posts it, I get an email,
Okay.
so I don't know why. Resubscribe should work.
Okay.
You just changed emails, though, didn't you?
Me? No.
Oh, no, not your email, okay.
No,
You
my
just
computer.
subscribed, though.
I haven't subscribed yet, but, because I
Okay.
just learned about it yesterday.
Yeah, there's everything in the world you wanna subscribe to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go on the town website,
It's on the left-hand.
on,
front page.
right on the home page,
It
it's,
says news,
it's-
subscribe or something.
yeah, and so if you subscribe, then you
If you
can,
go alerts, you can do everything.
yeah, so,
I can just double check it was still working, because it's only been a couple weeks.
okay. And one of the issues that I have is that I can email, but I can't post to the website or anything. So this would, anything that gets posted, because we have to post our legal stuff, and the agenda was in there, I believe Friday. And we post it.
It was Friday.
We're covered with the regular meetings, with the postings that we do that just say every third Tuesday
Right.
is when our regular meetings are. But if there's something special or whatever, we have to post that. So if you were subscribing, then you should get that. You should get the agendas that are set. That if the agendas are, when the agendas are, so legally they're posted on the website. So when they got posted, and if you subscribed and they get posted, then you should automatically get them.
Correct.
So, yes.
I just have, like a comment on the agendas. I know we're meeting our baseline requirement with them by having, the regular meetings posted with, but it's the same agenda every month, and that's not really the
Not
purpose of it.
actually.
Well, it's
What we-
typically old business, new business, and
Yeah.
it doesn't usually say what the new business is. Like if we're gonna do a driveway or something.
So it's my understanding when we talked about this a couple of years ago, that it was really important, like if we had a driveway or a site plan or something like that, so we put
The address,
we put
lot.
that information in there.
Okay. Maybe it's just because we haven't had one in a little while.
Right, no, and that's been our past, I mean, you can look through the old agendas. They're not all the same.
Okay, so that is something that will get, will get posted,
So
and
when
we
it's-
will get alerted of.
It's my understanding that the way the system works is that we post them to the website, and I also have asked to send to send those postings to the wardens,
Okay.
to all the wardens. With this system, if you subscribe, it was explained to me that when it gets posted to the website, you automatically get that notification.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so I think that will help hopefully take the, some of the issues with getting all that stuff, because, to get it posted and out is another step that, and I know the technology, if there is a problem, like apparently there was, because some people got that one on that special meeting and some people didn't, so.
Right.
Does that help?
Yes.
And then Dave will figure out something for you.
Just come down to the
We'll
fire.
buy him an iPad.
Give me some smoke signals.
There you go.
All right, so I think that'll make it a little bit easier for us going forward. And we'll see if, and also you might wanna subscribe to the selectmen as well, in case they have something going on that would be of interest to us. Any questions on that?
I do have a question on that.
Okay.
So, is, like, say when the chief was sworn in, that's not technically like a joint meeting, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, that was the select board's meeting.
okay.
Yeah. And I didn't think to notify everybody. I'm sorry, I have no excuse. But this will help, and like I said, I'm gonna choose the selectmen's agendas myself, so that if they do have something for us, I'll know about it. And so I would suggest that, but it's up to you what you'd like to see. Anything else on that?
No.
Okay, so minutes. Do we have any, we don't have any minutes yet?
Talking to me?
Yeah. Okay,
If I could have 48 hours in a day, you could.
all right, so shortly, we'll get those going. You're working on getting somebody to do them moving forward, and we're trying to get caught up on the old one, so.
It's just, I'm here every night.
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
here tomorrow night for ethics.
Right.
But it sounds like the selectmen have taken steps to get
Yeah,
us
we've
to a
actually
better
done it.
place. Yep, so,
Nice.
all right, is there any comments or questions? All right, we'll move on to manifest. I just wanna make a
Is the heat on?
Oh.
Down by your feet.
Feels it.
A little.
This one's warm.
Leave the air conditioner on and the heat on, watch that.
where's the thermostat?
Oh, I'm just gonna go walk around the house.
Okay.
Pop in a window anyway.
Under the manifest, there's a bill in there for 2 sets of gear. And there's also a bill from the state for forestry gear. And that number, if we had talked about it before, I verified that with the chief, but that money was encumbered from last year.
Correct.
So even though that's in the manifest, that money was already earmarked for that, so it doesn't come out of the budget.
And we did receive it, so.
All right, is there any questions or comments on the manifest?
I move to accept the fire department's accounts payable manifest for checks dated 5/18/2023 in the amount of $18,388.83.
Yep,
Chief,
okay. Louisa seconds, Wayne, Meady
Is someone writing that down?
makes a motion,
I don't think,
Louisa Earth second.
I don't think Naomi's here to write that down.
She's got it on the,
Motions.
I guess I could have waited.
no,
Is
she's,
there no questions or comments on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion carries.
thank you. Thank you.
Stuff the envelopes.
Okay, so we just approved the manifest, Wayne, Meany, motion, Louisa Earth seconded, and all were in favor, no abstentions
Can you give me
or
the
opposed.
Me?
Excuse me?
Mel,
Maybe you won't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
you have it, I'll read it to her.
Me, oh, I thought she said meeting,
You shouldn't have the heat on anymore.
For checks dated,
That's good.
was it 5/18, right?
5/18, 18,388.83.
Okay,
Like
It was-
lottery.
Unanimous?
yes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the next item is administrative report. Did we already cover that?
Yeah, we did, we covered
Okay,
that
no
whole
problem.
thing. We have been out of order, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yes, we did.
All right. The next would be non-public session, so, is there anything else for public session before we adjourn? All right. Make a motion, we go into, and so after we come out of non-public session, we will adjourn right away. I make a motion, we go into non-public session under 91A:3, Roman numeral 2, little a. And C.
I will second that motion.
Okay,
Roll call.
so. Would you like to do that for us?
I'm not staying on.
Oh, you're not? Okay. All right,
I got dinner to cook.
okay.
I'll be right over.
I don't think you need any, do you?
No,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
he's used to fending for himself anyway, but.
Yes.
And the time is,
1901, 1902.
Oh, that feels good, that air.
I have to go in like 5 minutes. Just,
okay, so Kuchman,
yes.
oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Huey,
Yes.
Donnelly,
Yep.
yes. Yes. Roberts is yes, I should say. Meady,
Yes.
Erf,
Yes.
and Olson.
Yes.
Okay,
Mark, did Mark stand too?